What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you've just stumbled onto the best place for Dallas Cowboys news, rumors, and everything happening in the Star. And let me tell you, today we've got something massive to talk about. Something that could completely change the trajectory of this team's entire season before it even begins. But before we dive into this bombshell, do me a huge favor. If you're excited about Cowboys football and you want to stay ahead of all the breaking news, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, because trust me, with everything brewing right now in Dallas, you're going to want to be the first to know. And if you find value in this video, go ahead and drop a like. It really helps the channel grow and keeps us competing with the YouTube algorithm. Share this with your fellow Cowboys fans because we're building something special here, and I want you all to be part of it. All right, let's get into it. The Dallas Cowboys might be cooking up something massive behind closed doors. And I'm not talking about free agency moves or coaching adjustments. I'm talking about something that happens only once a year and can define a franchise for the next decade. I'm talking about the NFL Draft. But here's the twist. According to some very reliable insider buzz that's been circulating around the league, the Cowboys are not planning to sit back and just take whoever falls to them at their current position. No, apparently they're working on something much bigger. Something that involves phones ringing, draft picks being moved around, and a potential blockbuster trade that could send shockwaves through the entire league. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, the Cowboys making a bold move on draft day? That doesn't sound like the usual Dallas playbook, right? And you'd be correct to think that. Historically, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have been more conservative when it comes to trading up in the draft. They tend to stay put, trust their board, and let the draft come to them. But this year feels different. This year, there's a buzz in the air. People are talking, sources are leaking information, and if even half of what we're hearing turns out to be true, draft night is about to get real interesting for America's team. So, what exactly are we hearing? Well, multiple sources around the league have suggested that the Cowboys have identified a specific player. Not just a position, not just a type of player, but an actual individual talent that they believe can be a cornerstone for this franchise moving forward. And from what we're gathering, this player might not be available at their current draft slot, which means if Dallas wants him, they're going to have to move up. And moving up in the draft doesn't come cheap. It requires giving up assets, future picks, maybe even current roster players. It's a gamble. But it's also the kind of move that separates teams that are content with mediocrity from teams that are willing to do whatever it takes to win a championship. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Some insiders believe this isn't just about the Cowboys being proactive. There's chatter that this potential trade might actually be a reactive move. What does that mean? Well, it could mean that Dallas has caught wind of another team trying to jump ahead of them to grab the same player. It could mean they're worried about a division rival making a move. Or it could mean that something unexpected is going to happen in the early rounds of the draft that will force their hand. Either way, the Cowboys are apparently preparing for multiple scenarios, and they're ready to pull the trigger if the moment calls for it. And before we go any further, if you're enjoying this breakdown and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Seriously, hit that subscribe button and join the family. We're growing every single day, and the YouTube algorithm rewards channels that have engaged communities. So when you subscribe, like, and share, you're not just helping me, you're helping us all grow together. Plus, you get access to all the latest Cowboys content before anyone else. It's a win-win. So go ahead, subscribe right now. I'll wait. All right, now, let's talk about who this mystery player might be. Obviously, we don't have confirmed names yet, but we can speculate based on the Cowboys' needs and what's being said around the league. One of the biggest question marks for Dallas right now is the offensive line. Yes, they've had one of the best lines in football for years, but age is catching up with some of their key pieces. If there's an elite offensive tackle or guard prospect that the Cowboys have their eye on, it wouldn't shock me at all to see them trade up to secure him. Protecting the quarterback and establishing the run game has always been the foundation of successful Cowboys teams, and Jerry Jones knows that better than anyone. But it might not be the offensive line. Another position that desperately needs attention is the defensive front. The Cowboys have struggled to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks without having to blitz constantly. If there's a dominant pass rusher available, someone who can terrorize offensive tackles for the next 10 years, you better believe Dallas would be willing to move up to get him. A game-changing edge rusher can single-handedly transform a defense, and that's the kind of impact player that's worth trading up for. Then there's the secondary. While the Cowboys have talent back there, they could always use another lockdown corner or a playmaking safety. The NFL has become a passing league, and if you can't cover, you can't win. Period. If there's a defensive back in this draft class that the Cowboys believe is a future All-Pro, they might just make the move to ensure he's wearing the star on his helmet. And let's not forget about the possibility of a quarterback. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Cowboys have their quarterback situation figured out, right? But what if they're thinking long-term? What if they see a franchise quarterback prospect falling and they want to secure their future? It's not out of the realm of possibility. Great teams are always planning ahead, and if the right guy is there, Dallas might just take the leap. The truth is, we won't know for sure until draft day, but that's what makes this so exciting. The suspense, the anticipation, the possibility that the Dallas Cowboys could do something that nobody sees coming. And when that happens, when they announce that trade and that pick comes in, Cowboys Nation is either going to erupt in celebration or hold its collective breath, waiting to see if the gamble pays off. Now, let's talk about what this means for the franchise as a whole. If the Cowboys do trade up and land their guy, it sends a clear message to the rest of the NFL. It says we're not rebuilding, we're reloading. It says we're all in on winning now. It says Jerry Jones and this front office are willing to take risks to bring a championship back to Dallas. And honestly, that's exactly the kind of energy that this fan base needs right now. Cowboys fans have been patient. They've endured years of playoff disappointments and heartbreaking losses. They deserve a front office that's willing to be aggressive and make bold moves. But there's also risk involved. Trading up means giving up valuable draft capital. It means putting all your eggs in one basket and hoping that basket doesn't crack. If the player busts if he doesn't live up to expectations, then the Cowboys will have wasted precious resources that could have been used to build depth across the roster. That's the gamble. That's the tightrope that NFL general managers walk every single year. However, if it works, if they nail this pick, then we could be looking at a player who becomes the face of the franchise for the next decade. We could be talking about a Hall of Fame career that started with one bold decision on draft night. That's the upside. That's what makes it all worth it. And hey, if you're still watching, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for caring about this team as much as I do. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, share it with your friends, your family, your coworkers who are Cowboys fans. Let's grow this thing together and show the YouTube algorithm that Cowboys content matters. We're building something special here, and I want you to be part of the journey. So here's what we know so far. The Cowboys are reportedly exploring options to trade up in the draft. They have a specific target in mind. They're willing to make a move if the situation calls for it. And if this all comes together, draft night could be one of the most memorable nights in recent Cowboys history. Will it happen? That's the million-dollar question. But the fact that it's even being discussed tells you everything you need to know about where this franchise's mindset is right now. Let's also consider the timing of all this. Draft season is when rumors fly like crazy. Everyone's got a source, everyone's got inside information, but not all of it is accurate, so we have to take everything with a grain of salt. That being said, when you hear the same whispers from multiple different people, when credible insiders start confirming bits and pieces of the story, that's when you start to pay attention. And right now, enough people are talking about a potential Cowboys draft day trade that it's worth taking seriously. Another thing to consider is Jerry Jones himself. Love him or hate him, Jerry is a showman. He loves making headlines. He loves being the center of attention. And what better way to steal the spotlight on draft night than by pulling off a blockbuster trade? It would be vintage Jerry Jones. Bold, risky, and guaranteed to get people talking. Whether it works out or not, it would be must-see TV, and you know Jerry loves that. But beyond the spectacle, beyond the headlines, this is about building a championship team. The Cowboys have a talented roster right now. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball. They have a coaching staff that believes in them. What they need is that one extra piece, that difference maker who can push them over the top. And if the front office believes that players in this draft, then trading up to get him makes all the sense in the world. We also have to think about the competition. The NFC East is as competitive as it's been in years. The Eagles are loaded, the Commanders are building something, even the Giants are trying to figure things out. If the Cowboys want to dominate this division and make a deep playoff run, they need to keep getting better. Standing still is the same as falling behind in this league. So making a move on draft day could be exactly what Dallas needs to separate themselves from the pack. As we get closer to the draft, keep your eyes and ears open. Follow the reports. Listen to what insiders are saying. Watch the press conferences. Because if this trade is real, there will be more clues dropping in the coming weeks. And when draft night finally arrives, you better believe I'll be here breaking it all down for you, bringing you every angle, every reaction, every piece of analysis you need. Before we wrap this up, I want to ask you one more time. If you love Cowboys football, if you want to be part of a community that lives and breathes this team, subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that like button. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about these trade rumors. Do you want the Cowboys to be aggressive? Or should they stay put and trust their draft board? I want to hear from you. And don't forget to share this video. The more people we reach, the stronger our community becomes, and the better content I can bring you. So here's the bottom line. The Dallas Cowboys might be on the verge of making a draft day move that could change everything. The rumors are swirling, the insiders are talking, and if it happens, it's going to be one of the biggest stories of the entire draft. Whether they're targeting an offensive lineman, a pass rusher, a defensive back, or even a quarterback, the mere fact that they're willing to trade up shows a level of aggression that we haven't always seen from this front office. And personally, I love it. I love the idea of the Cowboys being bold. I love the idea of them going after what they want instead of just hoping it falls to them. That's how champions are built. Will it work out? Only time will tell. But that's what makes being a fan so exciting. The uncertainty, the hope, the possibility that this could be the move that changes everything. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation. The draft is coming, and if these rumors are true, it's going to be one wild ride. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Turn on those notifications so you never miss an update, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, go Cowboys!